Islam Wars, Islam family, Islam. My name is Malik Wali Bay, and I am going to make a video today presenting a topic that is not ever talked about. It's not ever talked about, and this is a topic pertaining to the Europeans or the United States corporation and how it's currently functioning, and why some of our brothers and sisters see all the sex and the drugs and the fighting and the guns and the knives and all of these activities that are going on a regular basis. And some of our brothers and sisters do not understand why, especially from a young age. And I'm going to present a video today picking up after the 1930s, primarily focuses on the 1950s, all right, and the policy that was put in place by Roosevelt and the New Deal from the 1950s on up to now, and the agenda that was put in place, whether you call it Executive Order 11490 or Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars or propaganda or Operation Mind Control, right? All of these things that was put in place, Operation Paperclip, all of these terms that I wasn't even aware of until like 3-4 years ago. All right, and since I do and I am aware of this knowledge, it's my responsibility to share this knowledge with my brothers and sisters. Okay, and that's what this video is going to primarily focus on. I'm going to be reading a lot from these documents. Okay, so if there are any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, this video is for anybody who is interested in understanding these procedures and policies. It's open for anybody, whoever wants to learn, whoever is interested in learning or really want to learn. That's what this business is for, okay? I mean, that's the business this video is for, okay? And I'm going to do my best to present this information candidly and honestly, with no emotions, no beliefs, no opinions. All right, strictly facts from the documents that I have gathered and researched. All right, without further ado, let's try to just jump right into it. This video probably gonna be a half an hour to an hour long, depending on how long it takes. So I'll try to be brief, but I'll try to be concise. All right. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay. Now, this main video is going to cover primarily the document that was entitled from 1954. It was entitled Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Okay. And these are words or just concepts. They don't exist. But this is the policy that was put in place for whether it's going to be presented through the media, whether it be newspaper, whether it be television, and the procedure that will be put in place in the schools, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, entertainment, whether it be singing, dancing, music, acting. This is the policy that will be put in place. And this is the title of it, called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Alright, it was a document that was put out from 1954 to 1970. And the reason why I have it is because they want us to have it now. It is clearly out here. They're not hiding anything. And they understand those who are ready to do it are going to correct themselves and get themselves out of it. And those who are not ready are not going to correct themselves and get themselves out of it. It's just that simple. Okay? And my job is to give it to my brothers and sisters just as a reminder of what's really going on. Then we have, as we call, excuse me, Hegelian dialectic. This is a article, a newsletter I put out 2016 about the same thing. So I'm gonna briefly touch in the Hegelian dialect, propaganda, public opinion, excuse me, Operation Mind Control, Tavistock Institute in Relations, and deliberate dumbing down of America, or the United States. Committee 300, I will briefly touch on these things. Okay, but the main thing is quiet weapon for, silent weapon for quiet wars, okay? First things first, I'm going to start with Hegelian dialectic, 1807. Okay. The Hegelian dialectic was first categorized by George Hegel in 1807. It comprises of three parts: thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. The Hegelian dialect is a framework of attempting to guide thoughts and actions into conflicts that lead people to a predetermined solution. Dialectical thinking keeps people thinking inside of a fictitious box, inducing uncertainty and intimidation are also forms of achieving the Hegelian agenda. No matter what the issue, the Hegelian dialect aims to control both the conflict and resolution for the differences and leads everyone involved into a new cycle of conflicts. Okay? Another form of manipulation is called propaganda. Propaganda is information, especially of a biased and misleading nature, used to convince people of a certain political opinion. Propaganda is the deliberate, systematic attempt to shape perceptions, manipulate cognitions, and guide behavior to achieve a response that further desires the intent of the propagandist. A more comprehensive is the description by Richard Allen Nelson. He said that propaganda is neutrally defined as a systematic form of purposeful persuasion that attempts to influence the emotions, the attitudes, opinions, and actions, okay, of specified audiences for ideological, political, or commercial purposes through the controlled transmission of one-sided messages that are not factual via mass and direct media channels. Alright, and that was stated by Edward Bernays. So, these vast media channels are what you call the newspaper, the television, the radio, okay? And the purpose is to implant beliefs and to engineer consent through deliberate inducing of emotion and excitement. Alright, and some people may say, well, why are they doing this? And they're like, well, you gotta understand, the United States Corporation does not exist. Okay? So how can you get people to go along with a corporation that does not exist anymore? Well, they found out that a way that they were going to try to continue to function is to try to manipulate people and try to force people through deceit, semantic deceit. That's words, right? Connotative linguistics, to get people to buy into this private corporation and to go along with it, even when the people don't really want to go along with it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why. Okay. Continuing on. Public opinion, 1922. is a book by Walter Lippmann. Walter said that the public opinion is the pictures in the heads of human beings. He also stated that public opinion must be organized for the press, not by the press. Also, it is not sufficient to rely on the whims of a super social set to manipulate the pictures in the people's heads. That job can only be managed by a specialized class that operates through our intelligence bureaus. He also stated that the masses of absolutely illiterate, feeble-minded, grossly neurotic, undernourished, and frustrated individuals is very considerable, much more considerable than there is reason to think, than we generally suppose. Okay? Thus, a wide popular appeal can be circulated among persons who are mentally children or barbarians whose lives are a morass of entanglements. Okay? This is what's operating in the media today. Okay? Walter Lippmann goes on to state, I then commented on this, basically trying to summarize it for my brothers and sisters to have them understand that all they want to do is manipulate the desires and emotions to get people to do what they want them to do. All media aims to manufacture consent or engineer consent through the art of persuasion, either by sex, drugs, emotions, entertainment, politics, education, media, including the newspapers, images, gestures, words, and sounds. Okay. This is a picture, and this is a picture of Walter Lippmann. Right there, public opinion. We got some water stains on it, so just ignore that. And then we're gonna go into Operation Mind Control next. Okay. These are all books, by the way, published books. Okay. Operation Mind Control was a book written in 1928 by Walter Bulworth. And he stated that what they attempt to do is artificially induce some such conditions of psychological collapse and mental breakdown. The result was a theory of mass brainwashing or misleading involving group experience that can be used to alter the values of individuals and through that induce through time changes in the person's axiomatic assumptions that govern a given society. Okay? Hegeluan stated that if emotion can be induced on a widespread basis into a society, then that society reverts to a tabula rasa, a blank slate, a situation where control can easily